Hey, Bianca here, and welcome to Teach Like Bianca. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 things that you could do during your summer break. I got this idea from a subscriber to my blog, Be Like Bianca, and she was wanting to know, what do I do during my summer? She said that she just had finished her first year of teaching. She was entering her very first summer off. She was fortunate not to have a summer job, and she just wanted to know what was the best way that she could use her time as a teacher. Here are 6 things that you could do during your summer break. So, the very first thing is a no brainer, and that is to relax. So, let your mind rest and recharge. You want to take off the first couple of weeks just to sit back and relax. Don't try to do all the things that you wanted to do in the school year but didn't get around to. Kind of push out for like week 3 of your summer break. So you don't have to think about work. You just want to spend time with your family, maybe take that vacation and spend time with friends or just do things just on your own. I like to spend a lot of my time by myself in the beginning because when you're a teacher, you're around people all the time, your students, your family, your colleagues. You are with people so much that sometimes you need that downtime to unwind. So you kind of just need that first week or two just to relax, and then once you get into a mode of where you want to start thinking about teaching, then you want to go into the reflecting phase. And that is number 2, reflecting. You want to think about things that went right during the school year, things that didn't go so well. And you want to maybe go into an area of your house where you could just sit and do this, or a space that is very calming where you could just focus and think about some changes that you want to make. So I try to do this actually before summer break officially starts. I try to do this usually the last week of school, or um, maybe even that very first week if you feel like you want to get it done and get out of the way. So ideally, you want to be away from the TV screen or other distractions and then come back 2 weeks before school starts and really start looking at these things that you reflected on to get down what's working for you. The next thing that is part 2 of number 2 is the journaling phase of reflection. So you want to take down your notes. What are you thinking about what are you thinking that you want to change? I remember my very first year of teaching, I felt like I wanted to change everything. There were so many things that I wanted to do differently. I would search YouTube and find just different ideas, read different blog posts, and just try to find things that I wanted to recreate and do on my own. So I would start taking down notes and just really keeping my mind engaged. And sometimes I would not do that all in one sitting. I would just have a journal open in my office area. Then I think about something I that I want to do in the school year, I would go and jot it down. Or if I read something and I want to do it later on in the school year, I would go jot it down. This journaling and reflective phase kind of happens throughout the whole summer, not just all at once, but oh, I want to do that, or oh, I want to try this. Go write it down so then you don't forget it. The next part is gathering resources. And this doesn't also happen all at once. This is very gradually. So if you're at Target or Dollar Tree, Michael's, scrolling around on Amazon, you might find something that you want to go get that is totally not school related, but you see something, you pick it up. This happens all the time at Target for me in that first little area when you walk into Target. You just want to pick up things along the way. So then you're not doing everything all at once. I do have a blog post that is made for parents, but could be for teachers as well, about teacher acts on finding great school supplies for cheap. So, and I am actually going to turn that into a video. So be prepared for that. There's some things that you could pick up that aren't going to break the budget, and timing is everything. Knowing when to pick things up is probably the number one way to gather your resources on a budget that I will explain as well. But just gathering things along the way is when you see that they're on a great deal. That's probably the best thing for you to do as a teacher, and do it over the summer where you're not stressed out. The next one is reading, and this doesn't have to be just on education books. It could be about anything that you want. I'm currently reading two books that are not education related, but one is about leadership and one is just about just focusing on yourself and your inner growth. Um, you want to make sure that when you're reading that you are putting yourself into a zone of reading where you're locking your phone away, your electronics, you're in your personal space and you're just relaxed. Also try to hit the library and check out some books and make a goal for reading. This is what I would do before I started blogging. So prior to 2018, every summer I would go check out 10 books and read those 10 books throughout the summer. Some were education related, some were not, but those were things that if I were reading something that was education related, I would go and do my reflection and journaling on, and try to take some tips that I can bring back with me into the school year. A lot of it was on personal growth and making goals, and just kind of getting your mind right before you head into the school year. And then the last one is professional development. I usually like to do my professional development sometime the last 2 to 3 weeks before school starts. And usually we start school the last week of August, as late as after Labor Day. So I like to start doing professional development that second week in August and just work my way to the first day of school. So everything's fresh. I know how I want to apply things that I have learned during the professional development, and also use that time to collaborate if necessary. So I also used to co-teach, and during that time, I would meet with my co-teacher. And it doesn't have to even be formal; it could be informal. Like we were friends, we would meet at Starbucks, and that was just our place for meeting. Also, it's a great time to just really try to find something new that you want to apply. You don't want to take professional development that doesn't mean anything. You also want to try to, it's difficult, I know, to make sure that your admin understands that as well. If you feel like you do have to do professional development and it's something that you don't really necessarily feel like you need to do, try to do it right when school's out. Right when school's out, so then you have the whole summer to focus on other things. And then take the real professional development that you want to do right before school starts. So then that's fresh and then you can use that going into the next school year. So, some final thoughts. It's going to look different, your summer break, for every year that you come out of a school year. So, what you do in your first year, your first summer break, is going to be different than what you do in your fifth year of summer break. It's going to look very different for a veteran teacher to a new teacher, is basically what I'm trying to say. The early reflection phase that happens after your very first year is going to gradually change as the years go on, and be, you may not really would make a lot of changes later on. It's unless you're moving different grade levels, different school buildings, even different districts. And I have done all of those things, and all of those changes meant something else in the summer that I had to prepare for. And it could be something as simple as the layout of your classroom to how you're going to be evaluated on different systems, and just what that might look like for you as a beginner to what that might look like as a teacher going into their fifth year or 10th year or 20th year. It kind of just all depends on what your level is of change that you want to deal with as well. Overall, summer break is just to make time for you. It's time to regroup, reflect, bring yourself back, and prepare yourself for the school year. So, as long as you can do that, find one or two things from this list that you could do, then your summer is going to be fulfilled and your school year is going to be awesome. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.